Model homes on great lots right here in Georgetown, Texas. You won't believe the square footage on this home because of how open it is. And that's what I hear from so many buyers that have walked through this model home. Now, this is the Bernini plan. It's built by Highland Homes. It has 4 bedrooms, 3 full bathrooms, and currently has an option to add a powder bathroom. Now, even though this model home is not for sale, this exact same floor plan is for sale down the street. And I'm going to give you details on what that looks like later on in the video. First, I want to go out to the main living area because this is what so many buyers are saying they want in their home in the main living area. Cabinets to the right, cabinets to the left, upgrades everywhere, and tall ceilings and windows that I think Highland does so well. Now, my name is Raj Sahu. I'm a realtor in Austin, Texas, and I've represented clients with 20 different builders. So I'm going to give you the perspective of walking these homes with so many clients, and that starts right here in the kitchen. Now, what I hear my clients say about kitchens like this is it starts with those waterfall countertops. Just provides that great design touch that so many people are looking for in the kitchen. And then they love the two-tone kitchen cabinets. By using a lighter color on top, it forces your eyes to look upward. So above this 5-burner gas stovetop, they kept the kitchen backsplash very simple, and that's because there's a lot more going on with those glass inserts in the cabinets that have a design element behind them. Again, the waterfall countertops that are behind me, and then everything opens up so well into that living and dining room area. Now, we are in a community called Parkside Peninsula. It is in Georgetown, Texas, a suburb outside of Austin, Texas. And later on in the video, I'm going to show you one of the lots that's here. We're also going to talk about this area and the growth that's happening here. But first, I want to talk about why this community is called Parkside. Now, I haven't actually verified what I'm about to say, but I'm assuming it's called Parkside because there are 2 parks that are close by to this area. One of them is called Gary Park, and the other one is called South Williamson County Park. Now, Gary Park is an amazing park that I was just in for a birthday party. Now, I should say it's not open for the public to just walk in. It is gated, and you do have to pay usually an entrance fee. But if you reach out to me, there are incentives at times in this community to access that park if you buy a home here. But you got to reach out to me for details like that because those do change over time. Now, I will say Gary Park is not your typical park. It does have some unique features to it. For example, you're actually allowed horses inside the park, so they do have equestrian amenities. They also have a dog ranch, which is like an off-leash area. And I should say, Austin's metro area is very dog-friendly, so there are a lot of dog parks. But they also have what they call the Gary House, which is a 2,000 square foot indoor outdoor space that you can hold events there. And then the birthday party was not at that house. We just had a birthday party close to their playground area that had a splash pad, and it had multiple birthday parties, multiple pavilions to get out of the sun. And it was so well done. It was such a just great area to come in and plan a party and have kids run around and get all their energy out. And we had a great time. And my point in sharing that with you is you see how open concept this home is, right? It's got tall ceilings. I love these cabinets that break up this wall, provide that design feature that so many people want. That great design continues here in the primary bedroom and bathroom that we're about to see. But again, getting back to the point, Highland Homes builds these great plans that are open concept that attract so many people that are moving to this area that want to be around parks. I can't tell you how many times I've heard from people on the first phone call with me. They say, hey, I live in Seattle, or I live in California, or I live in the northeast part of the United States, and we love the topography. We love the greenery. We just like hiking. We like trails. We just like walking around. We want to be close by to parks. We also want an open concept home with tall ceilings and something that maybe we can design from scratch, or something that already exists that just has already great design in the home. And that's our dream. And for so many of my clients that reach out to me, a lot of them from Seattle, in California, I tell them hey, these are some of the areas that we should take a look at, and here are some of the plans that you can build. And that's why I get so many of these floor plan walkthroughs, is because a lot of my out-of-state clients, I want to prepare them so that when they travel here to Austin, they know the floor plans that they can build, and they also know pricing in these different areas. And right now, pricing is very dynamic. At the time I'm posting this video, we just saw a large influx in inventory, especially with some of these builders. And there are some communities where there's lots of inventory. There are other communities where there just aren't that great of opportunities right now. And it's incredible to see the differences between these communities, some that are in the same exact suburb of the Austin metro area. So I'll try to give some details on that later. We are in the primary bathroom, and like usual, my videographer Marc, credit to him, he's getting all the details he can. I can't tell you how many times people say, hey, we didn't open a closet door. I want to see that freestanding tub and that backsplash that goes up to the ceiling behind it. We want that great design idea. So that's why I try to get so many of the details of these plans, because when you are building from scratch, a lot of times every single one of these walls, like right here, can be customized to your taste. And I love getting these different tiles, these different design features that so many of my clients are putting into their home, especially when they build from scratch. Now, I got a couple things for you. First, when we head outside, I'm going to show you one of those lots. So I want to show you the patio first, and then we'll take a look at those lots that are here in the Parkside Peninsula community. And the second park is actually what I want to get to, which is called South William County Regional Park. So South Williamson County Park, or what most people here call South Wilco, that park is the complete opposite of Cary Park. It's got so much activity. It's got like 11 soccer fields, 2 baseball fields, football field. It's got a stadium with a track around it. It's like an actual outdoor track that a lot of people run and walk on. It's got 8 tennis courts, 6 basketball courts, a playscape. It's got so much going on, and there's a lot of events there. I played soccer there throughout the pandemic until I had kids. My wife and I have 2 kids under the age of 3, so I haven't been playing soccer as much. Actually, right now I'm down to pickleball, which I'm totally jumping on the bandwagon and loving. So if you play pickleball, reach out to me. I got so many cool courts here in Austin, some that are actually under construction that are coming up, and some that were just completed that have so many cool hangout areas. So I got a lot of that. But the point is, that's the park that you can go to have events. If you have kids, they want to play sports, or you're an adult, you want to be active, that's a great place to be very active and get into like the fun, the liveliness that's here in Georgetown, Texas. Now, at the time I'm recording this video, you can either build this floor plan from scratch on a lot, or you can buy it as an inventory home, meaning the builder already has this floor plan under construction. They've already picked a lot of the upgrades that are in the home, and depending on the stage of construction, sometimes you can change some of the design elements that are in this home. And I'm going to give you an example of that of one of my clients that's building the 222 plan that's around 3,600 square feet that has so many upgrades in the kitchen, and I can give you a good idea of what they've done building their home from scratch. But if you're more interested in building, you want to see some of the lots that are here in Georgetown, Texas, let me show it to you right here. Now, if you're wondering what the Bernini plan would look like backing up to greenery, just look right behind me. This is why I get so excited about greenbelt lots, or for clients that reach out to me saying they want to back up to greenery or a view. So if you like lots like this, then keep watching. Back to the video. Now, I love this area of Georgetown simply because of the topography and the greenery. Those are 2 things that people are so surprised when they come out to this area, because they think there are only hills that are west of here and other suburbs west of Austin, Texas. And there are rolling hills along the northwest, west, and southwest corridor of the Austin metro area, but there's topography here too. And that's why I have multiple clients that are under contract in Parkside Peninsula and Parkside on the River, 2 communities that are close to each other that capture the beauty that's here in the Austin metro area, that have good builders that build these open concept homes. And by the way, Highland is building in both of those communities. In fact, I have a client's video that just closed in Parkside on the River, which is just north of here, that has an incredible view. I have another client who just started construction on their home that has a ridiculous view that looks out to the greenery that's here in Georgetown, Texas, and they're actually situated above the trees. So there are some really interesting options in this area, and that's why I continue to come out to this part of Georgetown, Texas. Now, getting back into the plan, we are in the utility room, and later on in the video, you're going to see a study in actually a minute, and then a second bedroom downstairs, and then there's a game room upstairs that is somewhat open to the living room, and then we got a couple bedrooms upstairs. It's a good floor plan for getting a lot of the rooms that so many clients want in this current market. And that's usually a 4-bedroom home with a study and then a game room or like a separate play area. And that's what really differentiates, I think, a lot of 1-story plans to 2-story plans. A lot of times in that 1-story plan around the square footage, you don't get a game room and a study in addition to 4 bedrooms. And that's a pain point I find a lot of my clients tell me, they're living in currently, and that's what motivates them to buy new construction and buy one of these homes, is they end up having a work from home job, or a lot of my clients are in tech, so they have some sort of hybrid model that they're on. So they need a dedicated space like what you're seeing here to work from home. I even have a lot of couples where both spouses are working from home, so they even sometimes use like a spare bedroom upstairs in addition to the study because both spouses want to have separate work areas. And I've had spouses tell me that they try to work in the same study and they do like an L-shaped desk area, and it drives both of them crazy because you make a lot of decisions with your spouse, so it makes sense that sometimes there's going to be conflict there. That's in every relationship, based on what I've heard at least. And the last thing you probably want to do is work with your spouse in the same room. At least I've had probably like 80-90% of people tell me that doesn't work out and they need their own separate space. And that's where having that 4 bedrooms with a study makes sense. Now, I also have a lot of my clients tell me that when they have kids, their kids, even at a young age, like 6 to 12 months old, start getting their own like play area. They need their own mat to kind of sit down on. They have their own toys. Once they start crawling, then walking at a year of age, they definitely need their own space. And when you only have 4 bedrooms and you have a study, where do you put your kids? You end up putting your kids in the living room. So I had one of my clients tell me that they actually have kids that are 6 and 7, and they let their kids use an Oculus from time to time, and then their kids just use the Oculus right in their living room. And they say when they come home from work and their kids are home and they're playing in the living room and they're in the kitchen cooking, or they have a study close by to the living room, it just feels like there's no privacy, and it almost feels like everybody's on top of each other. So sometimes having that 2-story plan just to get that extra level of privacy is really helpful. And that's why I think a lot of buyers in this current market are looking at plans like this that have everything that I mentioned, but also have a second bedroom downstairs. What you're seeing is what is very marketable in today's market, because so many people have aging parents that they don't want going up and down the steps. And I have this conversation pretty much every week with my clients where they tell me, a lot of them, their parents can get around no problem in these 2-story plans. They can go up and down the steps. But how long will they be able to do that for? And that's not a fun conversation to have, but it is important to have when you're looking at buying a 2-story home. And that's where having this second bedroom down that has a walk-in shower that they can walk into safely, that gets them privacy. Keep in mind we're at the front of the home, the primary bedroom's in the back of the home, the main living room is closer to the back of the home. So you do get some privacy in this 2-story plan because of the stories, but also here on the 1st story, you get some great privacy between the bedrooms and the main living area. And this is one of those structural upgrades that I was mentioning earlier, where you can put a powder bathroom in this area. Now, keep in mind, when I say structural upgrades, that just means these floor plans have a set amount of either bedrooms, bathrooms, living room, like those spaces. You can't just like take down walls and change them around, but you can pick some of the structural upgrades that are in certain floor plans. And for some floor plans, that might be adding a bedroom and bathroom. Usually it's upstairs. Sometimes it's adding a media room upstairs. Sometimes there's different options that you can do structurally, and that just means you have to choose them before you contract on the home. So that powder bathroom obviously requires some plumbing that would be different in the slab of your home. These are things that need to be decided upon before they even send in information to the county or to the municipality for permits. And so why that's important is because you have to be prepared for that when lots open up. You need to know what structural upgrades you're gonna decide on, but your design upgrades, the carpet, the tiles, the flooring, the kitchen countertops, the cabinets, a lot of that design work is chosen at the design studio after you contract on a home. For that reason, when I'm touring homes like this with my clients and they see this beautiful game room, they see the beams across the ceiling and that light fixture, some of them are excited because of the design, and that's great. But some that are not excited, they don't like design, I always tell them, try to delete that from what you're seeing and just try to get a vibe of the structure of this home. Do you like the flow of this plan? Do you like the layout? What do you like about it? How do you see yourself living in this room versus that room versus the study downstairs? Is that something that you need? These are certain things that I constantly ask my clients, and I get different answers, but the goal is to just try to get them to get a feel of the structure of the plan. Because if you don't have a structural upgrade in this plan to change something that you don't like in this plan, then we have to look at a different floor plan, right? And that's the key here, is trying to narrow things down based on the structure. But for design, especially for some of these builders that I know really, really well, you can get whatever design element you want because it's just going to the design studio and picking the options that you want. But again, you can't just take down walls and add bathrooms and bedrooms wherever you want. That's where a lot of the custom builders come into play, where you can take some plans and build off of it and do whatever you want. But obviously that's at a much different price tag. Usually it's well into the millions for most of those custom home builders. But that's why production home builders like Highland exist, because if you're looking for something that's considered more affordable in these areas, that's not custom, you can get some of these great open concept plans, but you just want to be educated on the options that are there to really get these floor plans that are great, but build off of it and really choose options that fit your criteria. Now, speaking of choosing options, I'll talk about one of my clients that actually is building with Highland Homes and closing on the 222 plan next month. So I'm going to get a video of their home, and I'm really excited to show it because they picked incredible design upgrades. And a couple of things that they really wanted in the home. Well, they wanted quite a few things, but I'll focus in on two. One was a huge kitchen. And in the 222 plan, another plan with Highland, which is at a different square footage, it's mid 3,000s. That has a huge kitchen island. And then there's an option to extend all the cabinetry in the kitchen across the entire sidewall. So it looks like the whole kitchen is extended down this entire wall. Now, if you want an idea of how that looks, I'm going to show you that floor plan later on in this video, and the kitchen just blows people away. It's also open to the second story in the living room, as well as when you first walk in. It's a very good open two-story plan. But the other factor that they really wanted is they love movies. They love watching shows. In fact, in their current home that they also built from scratch about 3 to 4 years ago with another builder, they turned their game room into a media room. It's because they wanted a media room so much, but at the time they bought, which was kind of like right at the beginning of the pandemic, inventory constricted so much, we just couldn't get an option that fit their budget that also had a media room in addition to the game room. So they closed off their game room. And by the way, I have a video of that game room, so I can show you what that looks like. They did some really cool stuff to make the room dark. They painted all the walls dark, and then every opening in that game room, they had panels that they could close it off and make into a media room. So when I tell you they love movies, they love shows, they love movies and shows, and they really valued that media room space. But what they realized after living in a two-story home, they really valued that media room on the first floor. And that's why the 222 plan was such a great plan that fit what they were looking for. It had that huge kitchen island, had cabinets all running along the wall, and then they also had a media room downstairs that at the time I'm recording this video is included in the plan. And so when we saw that model home, it was a brand new model home that was actually north of this community. We walked it once and we just said, we have to get this floor plan. It just fits everything that we're looking for. in a plan. And it's always exciting walking homes like that with clients because I can tour these homes virtually, and some people love them in the video, but sometimes it doesn't always hit when you walk it in person. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it goes over the top. And when it goes over the top and it delivers when you're in person, that's just such a special feeling, because then you know this is our home. We have to build this from scratch. So if you want to see that plan my clients are building right now, let me show you how to find it right here. Now I want to hear from you on what you thought about the Bernini plan with Highland Homes. Now, even though this home was not for sale, pricing of all homes with new construction are on my website. So that's at the top of the description of this video. So click there to understand what pricing looks like in the Austin Metro. And then if you need help navigating through the market, reach out to me. My cell phone is at the bottom of the description of this video. Shoot me a text introducing yourself, and I'd be happy to chat from there. Finally, if you want to see a Highland home that's for sale, go ahead and click right here. And as always, I hope this helps. Take care, everyone.